Now, the Trump administration is pressing for enactment of $1 trillion stimulus package, possibly to include $1,000 direct payments to individual Americans to minimize the economic pain from the coronavirus outbreak that has already killed over 100 people in the country. The administration is also advocating $50 billion for hard-hit airlines facing bankruptcy. Here in Ghana, the Tourism Authority says it is working on a stimulus package for some of the players within the hospitality industry. This follows some shocks and revenue losses that hit some of the players in this space as a result of the coronavirus. Chief Executive of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Aboagye-Wiafe, has been speaking with JoyNews.
Hoteliers, airlines, tour operators, and everybody is telling us the impact that they are facing in their subsector, if I should put it that way. And what we are trying to do with the data is to put it together and then present it to the Ministry of Finance, central government, on ways that we can mitigate. But so far the situation looks pretty bad. I mean, we've had load factors on airlines dropping to beyond below 40%. It used to be 60, 70. Hotels are telling us that the occupancy is dropping from around 65 to 70 to 20% and all that. That really much is what is happening. And it's not the first time such things happen. When Ebola happened, when SARS, when there was the Iraqi war, the industry is a very sensitive industry, and as much as anything globally happens, it affects us. And so we have seen it, and we believe that once we get the data, we'll make a case with recommendations to central government. How do we mitigate? How can we support? We are pretty much sure that we will be able to get this.
What form would this support be? Is it form of reliefs or what, in terms of to help these operators in the hospitality industry?
I think it will be a hybrid. In some cases, probably those are not things that we can promise, but we can make recommendations to the relevant authorities. But like, for example, airlines are telling us they pay parking fees at the airport. When you land and you are on the tarmac, as long as you're there, you pay. So if in this crisis situation, if they are not able to get the numbers, is it something that can be waived? On our own, we've seen, for example, hotels asking for support in procuring sanitizers and some of the gadgets that they need to help fight this. So we will look at a broader look at everything that can be done and then make the recommendations to the relevant things. But so far, I think the engagement has gone on very well. The operators are following the protocols that were put in place, the measures that we have announced, the directives. It's for us to now also follow suit with listening to them, taking on board their feedback and how we can work to mitigate.
Well, so what form of assistance are hoteliers expecting from such a stimulus package by government, and how would it make an impact on their businesses? Joining me now for a conversation is President of the Ghana Hotels Association, Dr. Edward Nyamika Jr. Doc, you're welcome to the market, please.
Thank you.
All right. Now, first tell me, how bad has this pandemic hit your outfit?
Emmanuel, if I knew I was coming to the studio today, I would have worn black shirt.
Wow.
Yes, just to show how serious the situation is. It has the potential to put a lot of hoteliers out of business.
Really?
It has the potential to collapse businesses.
Can you explain to me why?
You see, the hotels thrive on occupancy. We thrive on guests coming from outside and inside as well to lodge at their place, so charge them room rates. And then they also eat food, they drink, and for some recreational purposes too, they use your spa, your swimming pool, and so on. Now, so when these guests are cut off, then the oxygen that feeds the business is also truncated. And without oxygen, you're doomed.
And would you say the numbers have dwindled, I mean, since the outbreak of this pandemic? How
you see,
is it?
we are talking about, I know the GTA boss mentioned a reduction from, say, 69% by 20% or so. The truth is that as we sit here, the information here, I have it here. The information I have here is that in April, for instance, the occupancy is going to range between 2% and 12%. occupancy, between 2% and 12%.
And 12%.
So that means that if you have, say, a 200-room hotel, that means that you're going to have 2% of that 200 occupying your hotel.
Yes, woefully low.
Woefully. In fact, how do you survive? Okay, so it's a very serious situation, and the earlier the government comes in to provide this stimulus package that the GTA boss was talking about, the better.
That brings me to that stimulus package. I mean, if really you are facing this, occupancy problem, how would a stimulus package, bring you up?
Well, we are being very optimistic here that the virus spread will be dealt with. Hopefully, in a month, in the 2 months or 3 months. Okay, so it's about helping the industry to survive this period. It's all about surviving the period, so that when things come back to normal, then we go on business as usual. But this period is the most crucial period, where first of all you are having to possibly lay off staff because you can't pay them. Where are you going to get the money to pay them? You can't also afford electricity. You can't afford water, because much as the disease is all around the place, we are still going to have a few people wanting to use the hotels. Okay, so it's not a matter of saying close all hotels down. No, it can't happen.
Is there no way to diversify? I mean, don't you make other forms of incomes from, other areas?
You see, that's the interesting thing, because all the various areas which hotels can easily think of has been cut off.
Restrictions here.
Exactly, because first of all, visitors are not coming in. Secondly, gatherings have been really has been curtailed. So those who organize their weddings and want to come and have their wedding reception at your point is not happening. The events are also not happening. Food, you are not selling food. So, you see, all the areas, maybe some of the hotels can look at delivering food services to people outside. Okay?
Just to keep their heads above water.
Just to keep their heads above water. But that'll be just one small portion of the inflows needed to keep a place like a big hotel going. And even the small hotels as well.
That's very serious.
It is extremely serious.
So moving forward, what do you hope to do so that
you see, like I said, it's all about surviving the difficult times, the difficult period. So it's about providing some incentives. And we are saying that if you look at, say, VAT, come this month ending, hotels will be chased for their value-added tax for February. Okay? They will also be chased for Environmental Protection Agency license fees, Food and Drugs Authority license fees. All those fees will come chasing you. Okay, we are also talking about electricity. Is it possible that a directive could be given? Can we suspend payment of VAT for now?
Maybe this is a good time to press home that demand because of this coronavirus.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Can we suspend, say, payment of VAT for this period?
Okay, so that
can we reduce the electricity and water rates? Okay. Can we reduce it? Can we also suspend this payment of 1% tourism levy, payment of this EPA license? Can we suspend some of these things? Okay, well, we know that the government itself will also go through challenging times, as we are all going through. They will. Okay, so liquidity will become a problem. So we are not really asking for pumping money into the hotels per se, even though that is also an option to provide some interest-free loans to them to survive the period.
Okay. So I want to ask, so should government come out to say now it's extending 50 billion CD, stimulus package? What exactly are you going to do now? Because whether you like it or not, the coronavirus is still in place.
For me and for the association, one of the biggest challenges we are facing now, which is even so hurting, is our workers. What are we going to do with our workers? What are we going to do with all those direct and indirect employees that we have? Is it possible that that kind of support could at least hold these workers for that period? Okay, so that the hotel doesn't have to pay for those salaries, but government steps in and say, okay, let me look at the figures here. Let me support the hotels to pay the salary. We are in challenging times, so we don't have to ask for 100% salary, but maybe a certain percentage that will keep body and soul together. That's one area. And then we could also use that to fund some of the activities. Because, you see, the thing is that the occupancy brings in money to fund other activities of the hotel. So when the basic inflow is not coming, even this food thing that I said, oh, they could cook it and sell it to external, where's the money to do that? So that kind of money could help to promote. So
now, I believe you operate hand in hand also with the tourism sector. How bad has it also hit the tourism sector?
Well, you see, the tourism, and that is why I think I was very happy when the president started promoting domestic tourism, because a huge chunk of our tourism revenues comes from outside. Okay. So now that is cut off. So they are also in the woods like we are. Okay. So and once they are also affected, we are also off.
Worst case scenario, if they should go into 6 months and get into 8 months, the coronavirus is still not contained.
That's scary.
What is going to happen?
I can tell you, because even as we speak, I got a message from one of our members. They are planning to shut down from this month ending. They are projecting, say, up to June. Hopefully, when the situation is settled, then they can resume. But even there, it's a projection. If things do not get better by that June, I don't want to even think about the 6 months and 8 months shutdown, because that is very scary.
That would be scary.
Yeah, so we are praying that the researchers and whoever, the WHO, our government, will find some solution to this problem. But let me also say that, see, we have two sides of the issue now: the prevention and, of course, the impact on our business. And the hotels are doing very well in looking at all those precautionary measures that have been put in place to curtail the spread. Okay, but like the boss said, we also need some of the items to be available, because now it's becoming a challenge even getting hand sanitizers.
It's sad.
Yeah, exactly. So,
all right. Thank you very much, Dr. Aka Nyamike Jr. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for your thoughts. And that was the president of the Ghana Hotels Association, Dr. Edward Aka Nyamike Jr. He's been painting a gloomy picture of the impact of the corona outbreak on hotel businesses in the country.